So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the title sponsor and the managing director of Edge Nutrition and founder of Power World Gyms, Mr. Talavou, Alailima, to address y'all.
Congratulations to our winners. As a school athlete myself, and have been a champion and broken records as a school athlete for shot put and discus, to be the best of the best in your sport, that's an amazing achievement. And today you should all be proud of that achievement. To be the best in your sport of all age groups, of all schools. That's just amazing. Congratulations to every winner here. We are absolutely proud of all of you. We are excited about your future. We are excited about what you will do for the nation. And we are here to cheer you on. And that's why the Sport Unleashed School Sports Award exists, is to really identify the best we have, the best talent this nation has. Thank you for being here, for encouraging us, each one of you. You were invited, you've come. And we believe that this evening will encourage you and will place some challenges before you. In fact, I had some ulterior motives when I invite some of you to come this evening. And I'll share those thoughts as I go along. But I want to thank Thilan Rangana for an amazing job, for putting everything together. The jury for this huge task of bringing the best and identifying that best of the best. Thank you for making those good choices. And we know last year, at least half of those winners went on to bring glory to the country and had done excellently in 2023. I welcome the National Sports Council, all the corporate leaders who are here, distinguished guests, all the principals, headmaster, St. Thomas House Prep, my family. Thank you, because that's where my strength comes from. Sri Lanka has a huge problem. And as a member of the National Sports Council under maybe around a couple of ministers, and having been in the sport arena for the last 4 decades, both as an athlete striving to achieve the highest level possible, and as an administrator, looking at ways of how do we make Sri Lanka great? How do we get the very best of our sportsmen? How do we take them to make them world class? What does it take? And what I've seen is that over and over again, we struggle to implement a meaningful plan and hold it long enough to see results. Every 2 years, however wonderful the plan is, and there are some genuine great people who are in the National Sports Council, part of associations, come up with absolutely fantastic ideas. But we never see it. We never see it turning into a success. Very, very rare do you see something work out. Mr. Ana Punchiheva, what he did for cricket in 1996 was amazing. Those are like little sparks that happen in our journey of sports in the nation. So we struggle, whether it's an organization, whether it's the Ministry of Sports, whether it's the different sporting bodies. because of the way we have structured everything, we are unable to sustain any plan more than about 2 years. And changing this is, I would say, almost impossible. There are too many players, too many people interested, maybe keeping it the way it is. And it's not possible for us to look at something bigger. But we have to, as a nation, go beyond where we are today. Vision 2036 is about going beyond. And what's special about 2036 is that India is bidding for the 2036 Olympic Games. And Prime Minister Modi is going all guns blazing to make sure that India achieves the most number of medals. We, as their neighbor, what do we plan to do when 2036 comes around? If we keep going the way we do, we will be in the same place we are today and what we were 15, 16 years ago. So Vision 2036 is an attempt to bring together the very best of our administrators, to move them above the existing structures and create an autonomous, independent group, support groups, to come together to support our kids for the next 12 years to 2036, so that we can target for 10 medals by 2036, which is 12 years away. Ten medals, one team. And we have 12 years to go. The existing structure will never support this. It will be impossible for us to be ready by 2036, unless we take the next few steps we should. Today we launch the Land Warrior Program. And the Land Warrior Program is the best sportsmen that we have found coming together and forming the Land Warrior Program for Sri Lanka for 2036. We need to approach the talent identification process as two prongs, so that 2036 we will be ready, which is 12 years away. The first one is what we are doing today. Today's 20-year-old will be 32 by the next Olympic Games. And each year, this award ceremony takes place. Next year's kids will be 31, the year's one after that will be 30. Over 70% of Olympic athletes are between the ages of 20 and 30. These are the kids who win today, who won yesterday and will win tomorrow, are the ones, the only ones, that will enter the Land Warrior Program. They are the best of the best we have. These sportsmen, for the past 10 years, have shown to us that they are disciplined, they are passionate, they are determined, and the skill set they have to win this award today. Which means these are exactly the kids we need for the next 10 years to support as a sporting body, organization, structure. This is where we place our bets. This is where we need to put our weight behind. So what the Sport Unleashed School Sports Award will do is to keep finding and identifying the best of the best every year. And these athletes will enter the Lion Warrior program. You have to be the number one of your sport to be invited into this program. And today, these 18 will be invited into the program. Last year, 17 have been already identified and brought into the Lion Warrior program. And each year, this pool of athletes are going to increase. The second prong is that we need to pick up the children by age, identify the talent of our children by age 10. And this is where the Sport Unleashed program kicks in. The Sport Unleashed program identifies the sports gifting of children at the age of 10, even before the child has touched a bat or a ball or knows the rule of a sport. Within our bodies is embedded a certain mix of muscle fibers that brings out a certain physical attributes that generate speed, power, endurance, explosiveness. And the sport demands a mix of those physical attributes. So if we know what the body looks like, then we know which sport. We know that this is a mango tree. We know that's an apple tree. We know this is a plantain tree. We will know it because a mango tree can only produce mangoes. An apple tree can only produce apples. And once we have identified the physical structure of the child, we are able to then predict the sport the child is capable of. So we are not wasting time chasing behind different sports and discovering that we are in the wrong sport. And by the time the child discovers he's in the wrong sport, he's too old to try another sport. And then by age 15, over 95% of our children are giving up sports, saying, I don't have talent, so there's no point in me doing sport, which is not true. It's a lie that they are believing. The only reason they gave up is because they didn't know which sport they have gift in. You ask any Sri Lankan athlete, any champion sportsman who represent the country, and you ask them, in your O-level year, did you give up sport so that you can study for your O-levels? None of them will say they gave up sport. Because if you discover your talent in sport, you will take it right through. I was having the O-level maths paper the next day, and I'm taking my putt shot, and I'm going to Torrington to throw. And my mom is asking, maths paper tomorrow? You know, why I go to the grounds today? I said, no, I have to throw. And I take my shot, I throw, next day I do my maths paper for the O-levels. And I did quite well for the O-levels. So then 95% of children are giving up, not because of education, it's because they never discovered their gifting. So what Sport Unleashed does is to identify the gifting of children. And what we have started is that we are testing all the children in every school and telling them which sport they are gifted in. And it's done free of charge. Every child, we want to give one sport for free so that we can identify the talent of our children in advance and help the children go down that path. So for example, this is Murali's son, Naren. And Naren was 8 years old when he did the Sport Unleashed test. This was his report. It basically said cricket. I mean, he had other sports also, but it said cricket, middle order batsman, medium pace bowler. So I don't think Murali was too happy because there was no spinning in it. But this is what the report said. And fast forward 8 years later, this is Naren, who's 16 years old last year. And he's playing for St. Joseph's College under 20 cricket. 16 years old, under 20 cricket. And against another college, he scores 131 unbeaten, playing number 4, playing as a middle order batsman. So that's the accuracy of the Sport Unleashed report. So the second prong is to identify the talent of the kids when they are 10 and help them come through. So the Lion Warrior pool from 2023 to 2036 will have the following breakdown. What we plan is that every year, which was 2023, we brought in 20 to bring 20 every year. By 2025, have 40 kids coming into the program. By 2027, have 60, the best plus the second and the third coming into the program. And then by 2036, we will have 600 and plus Lion Warriors, who are the best of the best kids in our country. Best athletes, whom we are going to invest and look after. We are not going to be looking after the whole country, we're just looking after 620 sportsmen. And that's what we want to do in the Vision 2036 to get ready for the Olympic Games. Out of this 620, we are believing that we will get 10 medals. If we take care of them for the next 12 years, the way that they should be taken care of. And that's what the Lion Warrior program is about. So the Vision 36 is about looking after this Lion Warrior. And what we are doing is, we are going to bring experts, professionals, those who can contribute to surround the Lion Warrior and take care of that athlete throughout this period. So we will have a panel of doctors who will have the skill set in psychology, in medicine, in whichever area is needed. There'll be 15 or 20 doctors in that group who will form. There'll be an independent group looking after the Lion Warrior. You will have diet and nutrition sponsorship taking place. Somebody's looking at the diet of the athletes and seeing what they need. How is the protein intake taking place? How is the supplementation taking place? How does that take place? Supplementation, there will be support coming. Another committee will be formed of 15, 20 experts or committee, a group. Apparel and equipment. What is the clothing the athletes need to solve their needs, to meet their requirements as sportsmen? The equipment they need to perform. The shoes or whatever else that they need, equipment. A committee will be chosen for the coaches, to educate the coaches, to get them to achieve their highest performance so that the Lion Warriors can perform. So there'll be a group looking after the coaches. Family economics, stability is going to be a huge thing. We don't want the child, in Anuradhapura going to the Vela and, joining the father every day and not doing the running because for economic reasons. This committee has to figure out how to sort that problem out. So each one of these committees has to sort out the problem about the needs of that particular athlete. And each of these committees, we would like to have 15 to 20 committed professionals who will come together, who has the skill set to support these Lion Warriors. These are autonomous groups. They'll function on their own. They'll figure out the problem on their own. They'll meet the athletes, the sportsmen, and then they will try to figure out how to solve these problems in their lives. I believe if we can do that, we'll have the medals by 2036. We'll be able to sustain a program long enough without being disturbed. So ministers can change, officials can change, federation personnel can change, but the 2036 vision continues. The Lion Warrior program continues because it's just made out of group of professionals who will be pushing this thing forward and taking responsibility for these athletes. So this evening, the ulterior motive of bringing some of you in and encouraging you to participate is that I can coax some of you to join these committees. We need your expertise, we need your time, we need your contribution in support to help the Lion Warriors that are now being built up and identified. We need 200 of you to join this group. So this evening, I would like you to look at some of these groups that are out there. I know each one of you who are here love sport, are passionate about sport, and have been dreaming that sports will one day be great in our nation. We saw a little spark in 1996 for cricket. But we can make it a reality in 2036. When India is going to compete, when they are going to host the Olympic Games, Sri Lanka will send a team of Lion Warriors who will bring back at least 10 medals for us. A huge, huge jump from where we are today. But we can, for the first time, sustain a plan for 12 years without it falling apart. Because this structure is independent of what exists today. So I want to encourage all of you to please join one of these committees. Please come, put your weight behind, give us your input, and let's work to make this a reality. Please take a photo of this. Think about the committee that you want to take part in. These are lead coordinators in the different